In today's video, we're going to cover a flow on the floor with optional strength. So I've got a set of dumbbells here. We're going to cover that. It's going to primarily be built around single leg thigh cuff. So I've got these great custom stripes from Elements by Momentum World thigh cuffs. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on my right. And you'll see in my hand, I've got the hooked on Pilates handy band. And the reason for this, we're not using it for the flow. However, we are going to find that some of my students, per se, will find just lifting the knee up and rotating may be a bit off-putting for the beginning. And that's a yellow spring. So if you watched my other videos, or if you're new to if you're new as a subscriber, I'm going to show you really quickly. Please get a set of these Elements by sorry, I've got two things in my brain. Hooked on Pilates handy bands, because they are so, and pun is not intended, handy. So I just wrap it around the foot bar, and I'm going to put this right on the shoulder rest. So what it's going to do is act like half a yellow spring, which for some of my flows, I have a couple female students, and I also have a male student, rather, that is recovering from a shoulder injury. Some of the yellow exercises on the yellow spring can be difficult. So by doing this setup, I've got my half a yellow spring. So when I'm in this series of bringing it up, that is going to be so much easier to learn control using this. Now, the great thing about this, not only is it adjustable, so I can I've got it choked up quite a bit, but let's say that was a little bit too much too. All I have to do is lighten it, and it just becomes really, really light. So please know, get a set of light and a set, these are light, and a set of dark, it's green, so they're going to be heavy. And you saw how quick that was. In my group classes, if a client says, or a student rather, says it's just a little bit too light, I can come here and adjust it so easy for them, instead of having to retie like we used to do with the bands. So hooked on Pilates, got it right that time. Handy band. So that's how you can do it lighter than a yellow. I'm going to go over the sequence for you, and I'm going to take it slow. And please know, for demo purposes and to be able to see it all, I'm only going to do it on one side of the body. But once you've learned the components, obviously finish this side, go to the other side and do the other leg too. It's actually quite lovely. I have done it. Well, I guess I better put a spring on. I've done it here all on one side too. As long as the box is aligned with the swivel pulley, you can do all of the sequences here and just switch the leg, as long as your box isn't justified off. Now, it's taken me a few times to get this set up, where I want the box, where I want this strap, the rope. So, and also too, I've got my reformer kind of turned to the side. So please know that from the reformer to the box is a letter V. All right? Reformer and box make a V to this riser, the swivel pulley we're using. So it's really important you get that angle right, and the box is aligned center mass of that swivel pulley if you're going to do both sides on one side of the reformer. But if you're going to do all on one side and then go and do it the other side, that's fine too. But it doesn't really matter. It's your preference. Also, too, based on my limb length, where I want the box, I'm going to wrap the rope once around the post. remember, you're going to have to play around. If you're taller than I am, you may need to wrap this twice. It's just dependent on where you're at. So there are so many different options here. I've done this where I've added some upper body, some tricep dips. I've flown all over the place. Flown? Never thought about that. In this flow, I've flown all over the place. I'm going to keep it pretty simple with some squats, some knee ups, some push-ups, and knee tucks flowing into a side plank. And I'll show you with the dumbbells as well as an option. Not recommended if you're just learning this flow, but if you want to add some strength, it's great. So I'm going to show you the basic 2 standing exercises that we're going to start in. So it's a knee tuck and back down. So what you're going to notice is as I start to lift the knee, I'm going to lift the heel. So if I have a class of students that I want to just kind of get them warmed up, I'm going to start with that. I'm going to body weight on the right, lift to the heel, just to get myself prepared and get this hip, the standing hip, ready for that knee up, because it's going to be there and back down. And it may take a few times to get the fluidity between shifting back and forth between the legs before they're not like dropping and banging. And you may have some banging carriages yourself. I'll tell you, when I'm doing single leg knee ups, I definitely can sometimes get a little too fast because I want to add metabolic to it. And so when you go fast and you drop the foot fast, there's a really good chance for the banging. To take that out of the equation, simply have your starting position a little bit more forward. So the carriage starts open a bit. And you're going to see that with that, it's increasing my spring tension, but I can drop it and it's not going to bang. Okay, be very careful how tight this is. So with that said, those are your basic setups and guidelines. So let's go ahead and do 5 more where we just shift onto the left, lift the right heel, 4, 3. You can even lift the left if you're going to do some more, but for today, we're just going to keep it right. Now let's start lifting the knee up, and just 5 reps. If you find that you want to add some arm choreography, that's fine too. The running man works too. So now we're going to go in and combine a lateral knee lift with our lifting the knee forward. I don't know if that's lateral or not, but I just want to start there. Then we're going to add torso rotation towards the knee. So I'll show you. So it starts with, I'll just do 3 reps. Now I'm going to add elbow to knee and back, elbow to knee and back. All right, so those are the 2 basic standings. We have the option of adding a squat to it. So I'll show you with a squat. Simple squat, up, knee lift, back down, squat, up, knee lift. And I'm cool with it being that slow when I'm teaching the flow, because it's going to be a great way to really challenge that standing hip. So I'll do 2 knee lifts and then a couple with rotations with that squat. Squat, shift, knee lift. Back down to a squat, up, shift body weight, lift that knee. Now let's add a couple with rotation of the torso towards the lifted knee. Trying to go really slow is challenging. So let me show you a couple more of those that are a little bit faster. It's a little easier when you're not going super slow. So once we get done with those, the transition onto the box is going to be like a down dog. So I'm going to sit back in the hips, flex, reach my arms forward, and then I don't have that far to drop them. Again, positioning the box is going to determine where you do your push-ups. So I'll show you again. I get done with my last knee up, drop the foot, flex at the hips, arms come forward, and I do step right, step left, and then start my first push-up. Let's go back through that. So I'm going to start from the top, squat, knee lift, squat, knee lift with trunk rotation. Flex at the hips, hands on the box. So that's kind of like a down dog or an inverted V. Body comes forward, right, left, step parallel. Start with my first push-up. Then we're going to add on the elbow to the outside knee, push-up, then to the opposite, and a push-up. Drop back to a down dog. You're going to see that I adjusted my feet with a tiny little step. So when I come back from that rotation, I'm going to step right wider, step left wider, get back into that. Now I'm going to take my right hand and rotate back on the box. I'm going to add another push-up, back up to that down dog or inverted V, and then left hand is going to rotate. Now this is where the hand position transition comes in. Instead of putting it over here, we're going to put it next to the right hand. We're going to pivot our heels, get into a side plank. Arm can be up, hand can be down. I'm going to turn this leg out and bring my knee up for little challenge. I'm going to add some side bending. I always have the option of side bending, elbow to knee, side bending. Oops, lost my balance. So those are the options you have. Let me show you the whole thing one more time, and then I'll add the dumbbells in, and then show you one last option to take it from there. What I would say, if you're going to keep it strict where this is, probably do 5 reps of each. So 5 squat to knee lift, squat, there's 5, squat, twist, squat, twist, there's 5, hands down, step, step, push up, knee, push up, there's 5, push up, twist, push up, twist, foot down, step, down dog, right hand, back, push up. Left hand, back, transition, pivot, leg up, adjust, knee tuck, add the stretch, knee tuck, add the stretch and elbow to knee. And that concludes that basic flow. Once you've done 5 reps of each, then you're going to switch to the other thigh cuff. The option for dumbbells, octagon, super important, guys, because if we're here, I don't want the wrist rolling on that hand, okay? So let me just put them on here. I've done a lot of standing dumbbell series, flows, but we'll see if I want to do this at another point in time, but right now I want to keep the dumbbells on there. But you can start and do some light dumbbells if you want here, and then transition down to the heavier dumbbells. But for today's purpose, learning the basic flow. So we've got, I'm just going to say 5 reps, but I'm going to do 1. There's your squat, knee tuck, squat, knee tuck rotation. So I'm going to start that again. I'm going to get a little bit more forward. just so I'm not banging. And that also reminded me, if I'm banging, I'm going to be a little too far away from those dumbbells. So I'll start that again. Squat, knee tuck, squat, knee tuck, rotation. Okay, I got to start this over. I'm getting too many things. And let me just do it all from the top. I'll just do 1 rep. So you saw those options with the dumbbells. It takes a lot of wrist strength to do that. So be very aware that when you're learning the flow, learn it first without the dumbbells. Take it slow, but obviously not too slow to where you don't let the body, stay stale or stagnant in one position too much, especially when you're doing the balance stuff. Get yourself a pair of these thigh cuffs because I'm going to be doing a lot more with them. If you go to the search engine and type in thigh cuffs, everything I use with these, and I'm doing more now because I just got the Elements made me some. They're really soft and they're perfect for a lot of things. I used to use just my double loops, and I found that I'm just tired of them slipping all over. And the small ones are hard to get over my calves. So this made a big difference. You don't have to have them if you have the loops and they work around your thighs, fine. But these are wonderful. So I think that's it for this. I'm trying to think if I forgot anything. I showed you the modifications with the Hooked on Pilates Handy Band, option for dumbbells. If you don't have the box, this can be done hands on the floor as well. I've got the 18-inch reformer, so I prefer this. Now, if you have a reformer on the floor, you may not want the box. So try without the box. Nothing is set in stone. In the flows, and I've said this before in other videos, take one flow that may be using the box and incorporate that into this flow and figure out where to create that body transition between one of my flows to the other. Because I've got a great flow using this setup with a standing knee lift that may easily be able to be incorporated with this flow, this squat balance transition flow. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you enjoy this. And don't forget your comments below. If you need to watch this a couple times to go through it, please do that. Add your own choreography. Just because I am doing one way doesn't mean you have to strictly do it that way. You can learn it that way so you start getting to understand where the flows go and what unlimited possibilities you have to do on and off the reformer. And please try your best to be safe with all of these and get yourself a lighter bungee. If you have any other options that you want to share with us in the comments on these, that you say, hey, I did this, what do you think about me adding this in? Great. We'll love to hear it. As a community, we'll grow together and take all the foundational flows I do and find great ways to build on it. So I guess last thing to finish, if I have myself in this position and I'm doing that, right? I can easily come down, drop to my feet, grab the dumbbells, and I can do some wonderful dumbbell exercises too. The other option when I'm doing this, if I need some support on the push-ups, and I'm going to get rid of these, on the push-ups, so let's say you transition, last one, elbow to knee, step out. Hands go to box. You do that stretch, come, drop knees, and do your push-ups. Back up. So you saw I added a hop to there. So that's just more because of my limb length. So I finish the last one, drop down, do my stretch, step, step, drop, cross here, lift, hop yourself back to where it comes comfortable if you need to do knee push-ups. Where this boxes comes in handy is it allows you to transition to some different exercises too. So enjoy playing with this thigh cuffed transitional body transition flow on the floor with optional dumbbells. Thanks for watching.